Summertown Eagles, Lawrence County Wildcats. This is the X Sports Network.
All right, everybody, welcome to Summertown High School Gym. As you can see, we have one senior. It is senior night, so given that there's just one senior, tonight is all about Abby Jo Schaefer. We've already had a ceremony for her before the warm-ups to this match, and I recorded that, and I'll have that released later. But I got Tommy here. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm good.
You glad not to be line judging today?
Yeah, I'd much rather be in the seated position off the court than standing on the court.
Yeah, I bet. So, yeah, we've got senior night here. Normally, I think last year we had about 3 seniors or so, but this year just the one.
Yeah.
Abby Jo had several girls her age start her freshman year and sophomore year and all, but she's the only one left. She's the only one that stuck with it all the way.
She survived to the end.
Yep. And she also got a special presentation that we'll mention.
Yep.
That she got her 1,000th kill recognition tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, she didn't have a junior year.
Right.
So she's just now receiving that. You know, she had a ton of kills her sophomore year, and probably got the bulk of them then. You know, and then sometime a few games ago, in the midst of her senior season, she got 1,000 kills.
And she played a lot of minutes her freshman year. She was opposite of Katie Burdett, so she got to come in on a team that had a big lineup and get a lot of action on the back, as the backup. So.
Right.
Everyone was, relieved not to see Katie Burdett, and then you got Abby Jo hitting the ball like it owed her money.
That was blocked, I thought.
Yep, we're evened up here.
Of course, Summertown coming off a loss to Loretto.
Yep.
Ellie Lou finds an empty spot on the floor.
Yep, Ellie Lou hit really well, Loretto.
Well, good. I didn't know if we would come out a little flat today because, for one, coming off that loss, but also that was feel way too a little too much.
Yeah.
But they had a half day of school today.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so the kids have been out since 11:30 or 12, and then they have to come back and play this match. So
when I played, and I know my kids probably, you're kind of out of. If you miss school or something like that, you're kind of out of routine.
That's right. So everybody went home for a few hours and came back.
Yep. I played baseball for the great Junior Rochelle, and I know they've been named Rochelle's maybe since then, but he was Rochelle then. But he would call us in the summer on game days to make sure we weren't in bed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good idea.
So this game's a little tighter than we might have thought.
Yeah, at least to start off with.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought they might come out flat.
See if Summertown can get something kind of worked up here. Lou staying hot.
Yeah, Lou. Now, that's not the normal side she plays on, is it?
Well, she plays all along that front. She might not get a lot of sets when she gets to that side.
I don't know, for whatever reason, I was thinking she was on the other side.
Yeah.
That's out.
That was another thing. The Loretta game, it was hard to hit on them. They had a lot of big blockers, and it was hard to tip against them. They got an older, wiser team.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of holes there.
Summertown is just not able to get it together yet.
No.
Now trailing 5-3. That'll be blocked out of bounds.
Yep. Got something rolling now, maybe. Maybe Joe back to serve. See if they can work some passing, hitting. There's an opening.
Good
job. We're back. Now we're back even.
Of course, Lawrence County High School should be starting their game in the next hour. Football. A rare Thursday night football game.
Yeah, is that, I guess, moved up for the fair or the weather?
Or
the fair weather?
I think on the fair week they have always played a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
But I've also heard that this season, because of official shortages, that Lawrence County's got 3 Thursday night games this year.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, the NFL does it now, so I mean, it's not too odd. Sometimes taking the lead here. Gabby Long takes a shot.
Blocked, saved there by Abby Joe.
Just Gabby getting it over. Not trying to do too much there. See if we can get a hit set up here.
I was talking about Abby Joe tonight, since she's the senior. Her sophomore year playing a back row like that, something you didn't see.
No, you never had a big hitter play the back row for a long time. That's just how deep Summertown was, though. I mean,
yeah.
You could rest the hitters. There you go. Gabby got one off the deflection, but Carly, Katie, Lexi, Michael played all the way around because she was a generational talent. Ansley Burleson, same way. But a lot of times the hitters, you do your job on the front row and then go take a break.
That was a
Millie gets
dynamic kill. I really thought the score was 9-5 now, but I'll go with the scoreboard.
If you can see the scores table, there's not a lot of attention being paid.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're keeping up with it though.
That one be blocked.
Yep. That was Brewer, Cameron Brewer, getting a lot of that one. And Maddie Klein. Oh, maybe floats the changeup in there.
There you go. Of course, another reason they could possibly coming out flat is this is the last opportunity to go to the fair if you're into that kind of thing, because weather purposes, Friday and Saturday are going to be busts.
Yep. If you purchased 2 armbands thinking that you had the whole week, and then the weather, like my family.
That's what I've messed up. I've got some extra armbands now that I know aren't going to get used.
Yeah.
There, the nets.
Someone climbed up the net.
On which side?
Well, it's hard to
Okay,
know.
so it's
Bobby James says Summertown side, so
okay.
It could be.
So it's 10-7.
Yeah. That may or may not be true, but that's where they're gonna give it. So.
Nice.
I'm still not. I still would rather them attack and overpass, but maybe
one of these days they'll surprise us and do that.
Yeah. I just like the element of surprise.
That one's served out of bounds.
Yep. Like that. That surprised me. I thought she was going to hit it in.
All right, 11-8.
Maddie Klein back to serve. Just feel like she's been on this team a long time. I think I said that at their place, but she's one of their older players.
Again, Summertown not quite ready on that serve receive.
Summertown's got a busy week. This is one of the few times they've played this many times in a week.
So that was hit out.
It's long, yep.
Yeah. So Mount Pleasant within 1. Yeah, they had the day off yesterday.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm sure they're getting exhausted. Think about it. The regular season started mid-August. I mean, like August 16th or something.
Yep.
And so a month and 10 days. But look how much they've crammed into it, and now they're tied with Mount Pleasant.
Yep. Summertown typically, in the times that we've had kids on this team, it's about 100 games.
Yeah, and a very short time.
Yeah. It's a very short, intense season.
And before the season ever starts, you've played a lot of matches.
Right. Right. And a lot of all-day tournaments. A lot of, a few weekend tournaments.
And a lot of time on the road.
Yes. 3 nights a week, typically, for regular season games. But we play CA Friday, so we'll have 4 this week.
And then is it Monday that you play Central here?
Central, yeah. And then next week kind of slows down a little bit. We've still got. We play at Lewis County, maybe the last game before
October 3rd. And I'm thinking that one may not be streamed.
Yeah.
We have a tough time getting a signal out of that gym.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I might just go with the middle school football team that day. So it's another one of Lawrence County's Thursday football games.
Oh, yeah.
Sandrell. Mount Pleasant finds a empty spot. Yep. Pulls within 2 again.
That's Bailey Green, who is also going back to serve. And maybe too excited from that play.
Yeah.
It's deep, and I don't think it's playable. Well, and, even if Summertown expects to win this game, they could clean it up a lot.
Absolutely. Happy Joe with the tip.
Yep.
I tell you, and to have so many games in 1 week, it was a draining game to start the weekend against Lawrence County.
Right. Lawrenceburg did us no favors
for
the Loretta game, pushing us to the brink. And that's kind of how the season, like, we don't get to play teams like Central, Spring Hill, Eagleville, teams that we can kind of go back and forth with. We either have like blowout games or we have like pressure cookers. And I know Loretta feels the same way.
Sure.
And probably Lawrenceburg, because they're pretty good for their division. And so, I think they've got a few tough teams, but they do really well against their schedule. And
they do.
And it's like, okay, we finally get good games, and they're nail biters.
Yeah, back-to-back Lawrence County Loretta is tough.
Yeah.
And you think, again, we've mentioned it a million times this year. Good block there by Eddie Joe, but it went out of bounds.
Yeah.
But our JV played 3 sets against Lawrence County.
Yep.
And then played 4 sets in varsity.
Yep.
And they were exhausting sets.
Yeah. Yeah. And then two sets against Loretta. There was just a miscommunication there with kind of set between 2 players. But if you're Coach Kelly, you want to kind of see the team finding a groove.
Man, she found that spot.
Yep. We should be kind of forming into late season, into form.
Yeah.
And
that's not clicking as much as you'd like it to at this point.
No, but that's a young freshman.
That's true.
Involved team though.
And probably not used to this intense schedule.
Yep.
Like some of the older kids.
Yep. A lot of endurance.
That's a good save.
Yep. Lou finally.
Nicely done.
If you're an
Lou's hit a little bit
hitter,
harder than I've seen her hit before.
Yeah. She's probably a little more confident. If you're an outside hitter, I mean that's the equivalent of bouncing the ball off someone's leg in basketball.
Yeah. All right. So that's 20-14. We'll take a quick break here as there's a timeout called by Mount Pleasant. We'll be right back.
Arts, crafts, stationery, journals, books, educational toys, wrapping paper, devotionals, greeting cards, and much more can all be found at Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg. Shop local to find or have a custom gift basket made for just the right occasion. Paper and Thread has a party room now available for birthdays, classes. We could go on and on about all the neat things you'll find at Paper and Thread, but you just need to hop in your car and head down there. 106 North Military Avenue in Lawrence. You'll find them and discover what makes paper. That's Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg, 106 North Military Avenue, just north of the square.
Yes, I should ask you this, Tommy. What was it like calling a match with AJ for the first time?
I would call it impressive. I would say that I was already feeling a little underprepared when I'm up here, and then that probably set me back a little bit.
So you don't think you intimidated him too much, huh?
No, I don't think he's like, I got to watch this guy for my seat,
Yeah. He's just kind of – that's out. Yeah. Good try. He's always I've seen this with my own eyes before. He called a middle school football game for me once, and West Virginia was playing at the same time. Yeah. So he had that game on his iPad. And I've seen him call the game while watching that at the same time. Yeah. And he was just on automatic pilot with the game that he was calling.
Yeah.
And people listening at home would have no idea. But like West Virginia would score and he'd do a little dance kind of, but while he was calling the middle school game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I don't do this at all, nor do I, have I intended to do it, as a profession or anything. But like, you have to really concentrate and think about what you're saying, and you could tell he's calling a game like he's telling somebody about a, I
know, it's just so natural
he saw on the sidewalk. So
yeah, like I think while he's calling the game, he's sitting there thinking, all right, What am I going to eat after this?
Yeah. Yeah.
While we're sitting here thinking, every little step.
Yep. Yeah, it's just one of those split brains. I had Rex McMasters as a math teacher, at Kaufman. Did you have Rex?
Yes, I did. I had him for Algebra 1.
You know what I think he used to do? And I've told Rex this. He's dear, dear friend. Rex could work a problem in his head while getting on to a student. So, if there was a difficult problem on the board, he could, probably, get on to a student but be working the problem in his head, to buy himself some time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he used to do that.
I can see that. Rex was a good volleyball player too. They'd had those student-teacher volleyball games.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
He had some hard kills.
Oh, I'm sure he's an athletic specimen.
Yep.
Yeah, I struggled in this class, but 11 out of 7 men are bad at math, and I am one of those.
11 out of 7. And you're one of them.
Yep.
All right, and that gets us to set point.
Yep. Summertown getting a cushion here.
No, but here comes. We have a special guest interview during the next set.
Mm-hmm.
We'll not tell you who it is. We'll you be surprised. Set point with Emerson serving. That one's going to get over. See if Millie hits that one into the net to extend this one. Another one.
That wasn't a good set, but she was going to try to end the game.
Yeah.
It was a hard set. It was going away from her. Probably should have just pushed that one over and lived to fight another day.
All right, set point again. Good dig.
Yep.
I'm glad to see Gabby. There we go. Yep. All right. Well, that'll take us to the second set. We'll just stay here. I'm going to give our special guest a headset. Tommy, when she gets that on, I'll let you unmute her.
You ready?
Yeah. All right. So we have with us special guest Kendra Schaefer. Kendra, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
And I can hear you. All right. She's the mother of the only senior on the team, Kendra and Abby Jo. Brian and Kendra have four children, 2 girls, 2 boys. 2 of them have graduated, and they're enjoying young adulthood. Chloe's even given you a grandchild to play with, and I know you and Brian are enjoying that.
Yes.
So that leaves you with 2 kids remaining in high school. And so all that to say, what's it like knowing, your youngest daughter is playing her final games of her regular season of her senior year? What's that been like for you as a mama?
Bittersweet. Super proud of her. It's the sport that she loves and dedicates everything in her to. So, it's a lot of fun, but sad that it's coming to an end.
Yep. I can imagine. So what's it going to be like when July rolls around and, you see that everybody's going to camp at Eagleville and, and you're not getting on the road to do all that. What's that going to be like for you?
I actually already thought about that this past summer when we were doing all the first class. And, I think it's going to be a little hard. As much as she loves it, I do too. And it's crazy busy. It's a really busy schedule. But it's also a whole lot of fun to watch your kids do something that they're so passionate about.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Well, so not to focus on the bad memories, but it's worth mentioning, talk about the journey that Abby Jo went on, her junior season. And so she had the minor injury in basketball. So her sophomore year, she missed the last couple of games when they really needed her because both of our post players were hurt.
Yes.
So she had that, but then playing some travel volleyball, she had the injury, and we found out she's going to miss her whole junior season. And so just talk about that challenging time period and how that was for her and for you both. Just summarize her junior year.
That was a really tough time in her life and my life too. Probably the hardest she's been through in her 17 years. like you said, she broke her wrist, and that set her back, a couple of months, but she was determined to come back. And then literally the first volleyball game back, which was travel ball, she tore her ACL. Yep. And it was just a devastating blow. She had to really work hard, both mentally and physically, to come back from that. And she did. She came back really well and really fast. She actually kind of told the doctor when she was going to come back.
Well, like, what was the initial when they said, "Okay, you're going to be out this long," versus what it really ended up being?
So, they've kind of shortened the time. It used to be a full year before you could come back from ACL. And, a lot of athletes come back solidly in 8 months. And college and professional even come back as early as 6 months. So that was definitely her goal, and actually even sooner. Yeah. She told the doctor she was going to come back for the first basketball game.
Did you really think that in your mind that could be done when she said that?
I kind of did. Like, if anyone who knows Abby Jo knows that she's the most stubborn and determined girl you'll ever meet. So, I mean, ready or not, I knew she was coming back.
Well, that was amazing to me because it was at Cascade, I think at the Cascade Middle School, the first game.
Yes.
And seeing her out there warming up, and then she came in and played. It's like, wow, she really did it.
She actually came back in 5.5 months.
So I was about to say, what was the total? It was the injury to the game. It was 5.5 months.
So she was practicing with the team at a little before 5 months, but truly being released to come back was 5.5 months.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And, I don't think this gets said enough, but, after the injury, I don't think anybody would have blamed her if she said, you know what, guys, I'm done with basketball. I'm just going to focus on volleyball.
Right.
With this injury, I can't take any chances. And, buddy, she didn't do that, and she could have at least said, well, I'm going to sit out junior year of basketball and not risk it, but I'll be back for senior. No, she was there day one, and I'm sure Coach Jean appreciates that. The fans certainly, me that sits there and watches every game, I certainly appreciate that. That she didn't have to do that.
Yeah, she loves her basketball team too. Volleyball is definitely her favorite, but she loves her basketball team equally. She's dedicated to both.
Well, that's awesome, and I'll tell you, I'll brag on y'all a little more. That junior season that she was out, she probably could have been excused from missing a few games if she wanted to. Mm-hmm. When Ronald Acuna gets hurt in baseball, he he's not sitting in the dugout every game. But Abby Jo, I don't know that she ever missed unless it was for, medical reasons or something. And then on top of that, you were there.
We talked a little bit about that, and I knew if she was going to make it through mentally that hard time and hard season that she needed to have a part. And so we talked about how she could still be an encourager and motivator for her team, even if she wasn't out on the court. So,
like, I remember a game at Collinwood, and I was there streaming that, and I looked over, and you're sitting there. I was like, wow, she even comes to the road games. And Chloe was there, Abby Jo's sister, with the baby, a newborn. I'm like, man, that is dedication. And what that shows me is you don't just care about your kid. You're there to support the team and the school. And a lot of parents, if their kid's not playing or starting or something, like, well, I'm not going to bother with it. But y'all are even there on the road games. So
what can we say? We love sports.
Yeah. Well, also on to happier memories. I can't relate to the experience of watching a kid play in a state championship. Both of you here on the air with me can.
Right.
But what's that like? And then let's compare situations. Her freshman year, she comes in when Katie Burdett comes out. And she's like, so, and that's her freshman year. And then her sophomore year is kind of Millie's that person that comes in when Abby Jo came out.
Yes.
And Abby Jo was dominant. So just compare those. Which one were you more a nervous parent as, when she was the freshman coming in as a sub, or when she was the one with all the expectations?
I kind of think that I was a little more nervous the freshman year for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Tommy, but,
Yeah.
you know, she had to follow up Katie Burdett, and she had to make sure that score didn't drop, and she actually added to those points when she came in. So for me, it was a little more stressful that year. What about you?
Yeah, I was telling Will off air, like, we were expected to win the state that year.
Yes.
Joe was a freshman, so it was our season to lose. The pressure was it was really intense for us, and we kind of went through and we knew what kind of team. And with Abby Jo coming in as a freshman, we were like, all right, even better, because now we're not even going to miss a beat. Now when we rotate out, we're not losing momentum. And so that next year, there was no expectations. It was, But I tell people that tournament at Murfreesboro, like the first tournament of the season, we beat PCA, I think, at the end. And I thought, okay, we are a lot better than I thought. And went on to win the state championship.
Yeah. Well, and to add to that, I know this sounds crazy or to overconfident or whatever, but I knew somewhere around halfway through that sophomore season, I knew we were going to win. I knew I really did. I actually showed up the whole state tournament not nervous at all. And I knew that we had grown from the mistakes we had made the year before. I knew that we wouldn't take anything for granted, and we would show up every game.
Well, it wasn't the 2022 year the year that everybody kind of said Summertown's too short, and that they weren't expecting, they kind of were the underdogs and went in.
I think so. I think they say that a lot, though. We're scrappy.
Yeah. Well, when you lose Katie Burdett, you are shorter than you used to be. I mean,
That's true.
Katie was a mountain in the middle. She was bigger than her body gave her credit for.
Yes.
She was tall, but she was imposing. And and I thought, if Abby Jo, if I'm Abby Jo and I'm coming in behind her, I'm feeling less pressure maybe, but then you're also like, all right, I got to keep this train rolling.
Yes.
But all the attention's on Katie, and then that's how we felt the next year. Okay, all the attention's on Abby Jo.
Right.
So Millie gets to sneak in there. She's not on anybody's game plan. So that was my message to Millie was, be effective when you're in, because they're not planning for you.
Right.
And Abby Jo could probably say that.
But that 2022 year, what I remember, Ansley, she got the MVP and she earned that. She was amazing. Played all the way around.
Yeah.
She could kill it from anywhere, front row, back row. Like, she was awesome. But I remember about Abby Jo, she really willed that team, and after she would get a kill, she looked like she was ready to just destroy somebody.
Well, I told Kendra this early on. It was at the SmackDown Abby Jo's freshman year. And I don't know if you remember this, but I'll tell you right where we were sitting. But I said, Abby Jo brings an attitude to the team that we didn't have before. Katie Burdett.
I do remember that.
Katie Burdett would put the ball through you and then giggle and high five and be like, whoopsie daisy. And Abby Jo would slam it down and stare you down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the team needed, because we had that with Nicole Brown. Nicole Brown brought that when she transferred over here. She was the one that really, the team didn't used to ooh as much as they did before Nicole showed up.
Yes.
And you need that attitude in these games.
Well, there were the eyes drawn on her hands, right? That Abby Jo did.
Yeah, still are, yeah.
She's pulled Millie in on that, I think.
And so I think she took some girl's head off at Eagleville at that state tournament with the kill. That I still see on her highlights here.
That's actually one of her really good friends from travel ball too.
Is that right?
It is.
Oh, that poor kid. I mean, and then the Cell Creek game, Abby Jo did a lot to will them through that one too. And I think that one went into 5 sets. That was
Yes, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
For sure. And then Loretta had beaten you in 2022. In the winners bracket.
Momentum. They were not under our thumb anymore.
Right.
Because they had been. Whether they want to admit it or not, they had been, and they were starting to figure out that they could beat us.
Yes,
and was beating us. So.
Well, I'm just going to just kind of off the wall question here, but do you miss the sport of softball?
Well, I'm in this like right now in this busy schedule. No, there are times that I miss it. Just that outside sport, and she loved it for a time, but she just got so busy with volleyball and basketball that there was just. I enjoyed the break.
I don't know how Mackenzie Reynolds and her parents did it, playing all three all the way through. I mean, that's almost impossible to do. But let's not forget Abby Joe. She was on that undefeated middle school team in 2021 with Olivia Woods, Hannah Jones. Yes. I'll never forget that 10-inning game that was won here against Lincoln County to advance.
Yes, at one point.
So just throwing this out there, Tommy, you remember, I think your freshman year, my sophomore year, Doug Riggs never played on the baseball team until after his senior basketball season was over. And he just decided to go out there to the baseball field and try out. And he ended up, busting homers and playing a really good left field. That's Olivia Riggs' dad.
Yep.
And so what do you think, Kendra? After Abby Joe's senior basketball season's over, brand new softball coach, there's an opening at first base because Anna Burleson just graduated. So what do you think? Just go out there and see if she can still bust homers like she did as an 8th grader. Why don't we try that?
I mean, as her mom, I know she could do it. I don't think that she's interested, though.
Oh, come on. We've got a few months to work on her. Well, I know Abby Joe was probably sick of this question. You're probably sick of this question because the important thing is that you enjoy the moment and make the most out of this year.
Right.
But what are the next steps? What do we think the next steps are? Or are we just not even going to think about that and just enjoy the year?
Well, unfortunately, collegiate sports, you have to think about that in high school, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I think that she loves the sport enough that she would love to play it in college if she gets the opportunity. She's open to that. Mm-hmm. And we are going to be playing on a travel team this season. Since she missed last season, she kind of that junior year was stolen from her, and she was not able to, reach out to colleges like you normally would.
Sure.
So we are going to do that after regular volleyball season, and just kind of see where that goes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And so there's not a particular career path yet? Is anything like that coming up? Something she sees herself wanting to do?
That is also right now. She really enjoys videography. She loves sports videography, and that is definitely another option. She would love to be on a collegiate team to follow them, ride with them, and video for them. She's always so busy with sports. I know I could have put her to use in some of the stuff that we do, because she does great work with her videos, and it's a different type of video mixing that I never learned to do, because I'm more of just like a highlights person of what happened and all, and she makes those hot videos that the kids love. Yes, that's what she loves.
And that's not a skill that I've ever obtained. So she's and to be interested in that at her age is she could really go somewhere with that.
I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her that she's really found something and kind of really dug in and tried it out. So,
well, Tommy, anything else you want to add to this drilling of Abby Joe's mother up here?
She can do weddings too. I was in a wedding.
Yes.
She videoed the clips, and so.
Oh yeah.
It takes creativity to come up with things and shots, and I'm glad that at her age she's getting to really think about those things, because in high school you could have dropped me off at Walmart. I don't know if I'd have found my way home. So it's always impressive.
I gotta say,
know what to do.
she had several volleyball players that were her age that were playing, but she's the only one left, and I appreciate those who stick it out to the end, and she overcame a lot to do that. So I appreciate her, appreciate appreciate you and all you've done for her in that process.
Thank you.
Because I got to be at all these games, and so I like them to be good, and she has definitely made them more entertaining for me. So
Thank you.
well, Kendra, thank you for joining us. We'll let you go down and enjoy the last set of her senior year at home. Is district here?
Yes.
So this is not really the last home game.
And we actually have another, I think next week we have one more home.
And we have Central. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
So.
Very good. All right, well, thank you, Kendra.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we might be in trouble for not playing more commercials this match, but
Yeah.
we needed to get that in. That was good. She wasn't intimidated at all, was she?
No.
All right, well, so Summertown took that set a little more like we were wanting them to.
Yeah, they got in a groove. Millie started off serving, got a bit of a cushion going, and then that was all they needed.
So I guess interviewing Kendra, I didn't even notice that. So she got to serve to start that set off.
Yeah, some rotation. She
Good.
gave them a couple points cushion, and then the team just sort of was able to find holes a little bit. When they can pass, they get good passes to Audrey. Audrey can set the different hitters. There's just a lot of good things can happen.
All right, well, here we go with the third set, and that starts off with the serve being long. So Summertown's up 1-0. Audrey's going to go back to serve first in this set. She'll have her senior night a year from now.
Right. A couple of them going to
Yeah.
next year. A little different this time. Maddie Gillum is usually the lead server every time.
Yep,
So,
she usually is. Mount Pleasant finds the hole.
Yeah. If you can find, if you're good enough on the team to find the setter that releases early, you could pretty much hit it to their area.
Uh-huh.
And there's a hole.
Good dig. That get hit out. Yep. It's a little long. So Mount Pleasant will take a 2-1 lead.
Ball is in the dead zone. Our scoring table, always on it. Usually 20 seconds late, but they're on it.
Good block.
Yep. Mount Pleasant making Summertown work for it here. Over Joe with the swipe, but no. Probably a lift, but not called. We'll just keep playing. Ellie Lou, no. Audrey gets a good pass, good set, back set.
Yep, they get a good block on her.
Yep, Mount Pleasant's like, nope, gonna have to earn it. Which is good. They need to work a little bit here.
Good block.
Whoever wins this point is really gonna celebrate.
Yeah. And still going.
Yeah.
That's going to be out.
Sure enough.
Yeah. Mount Pleasant goes up 3-1. That might take a little out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, for Summertown, you can't say, well, we won 2 sets, so we're done.
There's some authority on that one.
Yeah. When it's your team's turn to serve, you got to think, I need to push points here. I need to stay rolling, but that's not going to happen.
Didn't happen here.
No. And you know, from a hitting standpoint, if you don't have a server back there serving multiple times, you're rotating around the front every time that there's a different server. So
Right.
just like chambers of a gun.
And that one didn't make it over. Mount Pleasant goes up 5-2.
Summertown's going to have to find something to work. That might do it. Ellie Lou coming in clutch.
Yep. Just as a note to Summertown fans who are going to be looking for the football game tomorrow night, it's going to be a monsoon at Kingston Springs in Harpeth. So I'm going to do what I can, but they do not allow visiting media into the press box, and so I'm going to be outside in that monsoon, and I have ways around being in the rain, but I do not have great solutions for wind and rain.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to do the best I can, but I can't promise that one will be on. And I also am wondering if they even do it tomorrow, with the weather that's coming. Got a comment from Jay Chapman. Jay Chapman's pointing out that Abby Joe's playing a little wounded here. There's her senior night, so she's it's good that she's going to have a week and a half to rest up, and she'll be ready to go for tournaments.
Yeah, she's not 100% for sure.
Mm-mm. And
it's a tough injury where it is.
Yeah, for what she's got to do.
Yep.
All right, 6-5. Summertown's working their way back into this one.
Yep. Emerson Franks needs to serve for a little while. So Will, there's a good chance that you look like Bill Paxton in the first Twister movie.
You do
with tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
when you're going to be.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. We'll get all that set up. That one's hit into didn't get the set she wanted there. You get all that set up, and then you'll spend all your effort holding the tent down so it don't blow away.
Yep.
And then if any little thing goes wrong, all that water on top of the tent will come splashing down on the equipment. It's just that's the only time I don't enjoy doing this.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy all the sports, indoor, outdoor. I can handle the cold. Don't like the heat. The equipment doesn't like the heat.
Yeah.
But the only time I don't enjoy doing this is when I have to deal with rain. I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
Well, I know as a fan, parent, we appreciate exports and what you guys do and what you do as a producer here to make sure we can see games in our very, very busy schedule.
Well, thank you.
We sure appreciate it.
And see, I enjoy doing it. And my main motivation, besides it gets me out of working concessions. I have not worked concessions one time since I've done this.
Yeah.
That's my main goal, but my second goal, as she serves that one in the net, my second goal is that these kids have memories preserved forever, right? That's even more important to me than people watching it live right now that aren't here.
Yeah.
I like the fact that these kids have this forever.
Yeah.
And like in Millie's sake, she'll have her dad's voice calling her games, which is even more special.
Yeah.
In Timmy Kennig, his son will have his, videos of Timmy's voice on the call.
That's true.
Kane will have those. All right, Mount Pleasant up 9-8.
Yeah, Summertown's started to make a game of it, maybe, but and I can remember in high school you being sort of a historian. I remember the video of you coming out, and so even early on. So I would say this isn't a new obsession that you have.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Back when they put the camcorders on her shoulders, I would go through the lunch line holding a camcorder and just, Mount Pleasant's on a roll.
Yep.
But I would do that, and it would annoy the lunch ladies. It would annoy the students.
But
and now that's priceless footage. Maddie Gillum's late grandmother was in that video. The lunch lady.
Yeah, and if I don't know if you realize this, I'm sure you have, but people were different when the camera was on them. They were just a little unsure, but they were a little goofy. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Today, you have to be extra careful of what you're doing because everything's videoed.
Everything.
And so kids are a little different with video because they're so used to it. But back then, I think we were still trying to figure out what's the worst that could happen
Yeah.
with what our actions being on video could do. So.
Yeah, we sure didn't think that it would be out 30 years later.
No.
When we were doing that, but yeah, those videos are priceless now.
Yeah.
And just I gave that camera to other people, and they would walk down the hall with it.
Yeah.
Just during break.
Yeah.
And it's so neat to see that, who all the different couples were.
Yeah.
Walking down the halls together.
Yeah. Well, our whole childhood was videoed. My mom had a big camera.
That's good.
And we didn't think anything about it at the time, but we found some really funny videos from Christmas that have made us kind of hometown famous, especially my sister. Well, I won't bring them up.
Oh, is that right?
Without her here to defend herself. But we, yes, we have very, very valuable footage that we have. We have a lot of inside jokes.
Is it digitized now?
No, and it should be.
Yeah, you got to get that done.
We don't know. We really do. We don't have enough.
Well, holler if you need any help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, priceless
Yeah.
videos.
Well, Summertown is hopefully going to tie it here.
Yeah, this is where they need to gain some ground.
That's great save there, great dig there by Anna Lee. That one's way back there.
Yeah, Abby Jo had found her range in the Lawrence County game. And,
Yeah, it makes me think of a finger roll in basketball.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't work there.
She does not have the range today that she did on Monday.
So Mount Pleasant's up 13-11 now.
Lou.
Did that make it?
They got blocked back over.
I didn't know I've ever made it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mount Pleasant's doing a really good job of just making Summertown work for everything right here.
Sure are. Summertown pulls within one again. If you have tickets to the concert at the fair tomorrow, I don't envy you.
Yeah.
Oh man. In case you haven't heard, you're not going to be under a roof. All right, we got a substitution.
Well, we got Mount Pleasant questioning a call here. I don't know if they.
They did. They got a point.
Okay, so you were right. It didn't go over. I thought it was blocked over.
That's true, though. You kept on playing and kept on playing after that.
Right. That's like going back and setting it straight. If you're Andrea, you're thinking, why didn't you? If you knew that was the wrong call, then call it then.
So is it 14-11 then?
So they have to get this.
Yeah.
Get this figured out.
Alrighty then. I mean, I think it might be the right call, but I don't know how far back you can go.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, if you know it's the right call, then call it at the time.
Yeah, I know, and then you're just going to be convinced of that later.
Yeah. I mean, me and you can sit up here and be like, well, that wasn't the right call, but we can't do anything about it.
I wondered if that would have been out.
Probably so. It wasn't diving. But I said this at the beginning, and there is a shortage of referees.
Yeah.
Even the ones we have, there's a bit of a shortage with maybe even knowing the rules. So.
That's probably something we're going to be saying.
Yeah.
From now on, shortage of refs. It's just one of those things that never got back to like it was before the pandemic, I guess.
Right, and I'm sure. I mean, the fans aren't great anymore. I mean, the fans do make it hard on line judges, and I mean that's the reason I had the line judge of the day, because of fans, and that's just unfortunate, but it's also kind of how it is. And even with refs, I mean, if I'm coaching today, I'm telling my teams win by 10. We can't trust any referee or official.
That's what the Summertown fans like to look at the officials the other night in the football game, the loss against Mount Pleasant, but really Summertown did it to they had their chances.
You had your chance. I mean, was the officiating terrible? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it probably will be every game. If I'm a player or a coach, I'm going to say.
Just can't leave it to the officials.
Yeah. Win big so bad calls are funny.
Yeah. So we can laugh about them.
Yeah.
That's not working today.
Not in.
All right, well, we're getting closer to that 25. Mount Pleasant is still leading.
Yeah.
And we're just gradually falling behind, hoping to pull ahead and not play a fourth set. But that's not, well, it worked. It's not what you had drawn up. But Millie's back in now. Abby Jo looks like she's going back to serve.
Yeah. Millie not only, coming in ready to swing away, but she should be fresh, should be a little rested. So let's see here if she gets a set. And
they dig it.
Yep, held back a little bit, but hit it right at somebody. Ellie Lou getting a block there. Calling the lift for the referee, but nobody saw that one.
That didn't look right.
Yep. Setting Gabby Long. Getting it over. Millie trying to get it set up.
That must have been, was it a 2?
Yeah.
You're getting booze for it. But
yep. Well,
it does tie it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're thinking might have just been a call to be a call, but that was a hit. That ball is into the locker room. They're going to need the other one. If you've never been to Summertown's gym, it drops off severely on those edges.
It does. Oh, wait. Okay. Give that point to the wrong.
Yeah. Ellie Lou coming in clutch.
Now it's tied. Emerson in to serve. Into the net. It's that kind of set.
Yeah, anytime you get some even or a little lead, then you give a point.
Yeah. Blocked in bounds. No, out of bounds. Okay, I thought it looked like it was on the line from my angle.
Well, who knows? I mean, it could a few plays go by and then they decide.
Then they'll change their mind.
Yeah, but
usually I'm watching through a screen, so
but usually on that side of the court, you got the ref and the line judge on the same side. So Millie with the swipe.
Nice job. Well, Summertown takes a lead.
Millie's travel ball coach will not let them hit at the net, so they only can swipe.
Will not let them hit at the net.
Will not let them hit on an overpass.
I see.
Yeah. So I thought maybe in the high school she would do that, but it's probably ingrained in her head now.
Yeah. Well done. Another kill.
Yep. Now they're starting to.
She's starting to feel it here towards the end. That's one of the things that does seem to be clicking here.
Yeah. Mount Pleasant's going to try to shut that down.
Well, we probably need to have some commercials. We've kind of been short of running those, so we'll be right back.
At Old South Wood Preserving in Summertown, Tennessee, we provide quality pressure-treated wood products for the ag fence and the post-frame building industry. Our tried and true process of preserving wood, utilizing the latest technology in the industry, ensures that our products stand the test of time. Our team works tirelessly to make sure that our customers are treated with the best service and care each day. I'm Eric Stoll, and as the owner of Old South Wood Preserving, my goal isn't to be the biggest supplier in the industry, but rather to be the very best we do. Build your project with Old South Wood. Old South.
All right, we're back.
Yep. If you're Summertown, you want to see Maddie back there serving while you're trying to get some momentum rolling. So maybe this is going to be a little more breathing room for Summertown.
All right, up 3 now. Biggest lead they've had this set. She serves that in the net. She struggled this set, I believe.
I think so, and maybe that was why last or the beginning of the set she didn't start. So
Yeah, this is Audrey that started this one, and
yeah.
Millie the last one. All right, I think just got the alert the rain will be here at 7:01, and it will not leave until Sunday.
Yeah. It's like an in-law that you don't want around.
Yeah, it's going to be here.
Bags, so.
Nice kill.
Summertown's hoping that being up 2-0 and getting in the 20th points here, that Mount Pleasant's going to give up a little bit, but I'm
they won't.
not sure. They've made every point difficult this whole set.
Well, I think that might have gone out, but they helped us a little bit.
That was a good idea. It made it too tempting.
23.
Anna Lee, who's a great server. Maybe can close it out here.
Is that
finding the hard, soft spot?
She did. All right, match point here on senior night. But
too tight.
It extended a little bit longer.
Yep, just too tight to the net.
Mount Pleasant has reached the 20s.
Abby Jo with the chance to put one down, and she does.
On her senior night.
Very fitting.
Yeah, very nice. Well, Summertown gets another district win, region win. I guess it's district.
Yeah.
And that will be the end of. No, they've got one more district game against Lewis County on the road next week on a Thursday. And again, I don't know that one's going to be live streamed or not. So the district schedule is almost over, 1 week away from the regular season being completely over.
Right.
Does it? And I guess it works out that district tournament is during fall break again.
Yeah, we haven't had a fall break vacation in almost a decade.
That's what I told Macy. It's like, we're going on one this year because this is it for a while.
Yep.
So Summertown wins this one in 3 sets, and the next match will be tomorrow at CA. I believe Kevin is going to come stream that one, and he'll probably come ask you to come help him call it or help Hayden call it. So
yeah, whatever you'll need.
All right. Well, very good. Again, our love to Abby Jo on her senior night, and looking forward to seeing what she does for us in the tournament.
Yep.
This has been Tommy Emerson and Will Pettis. This has been High School